The Netball Youth World Cup African qualifiers are currently happening in Pretoria at the Rembrandt Hall at the University of Pretoria for the rest of this long weekend. With the group stages wrapping up in the next couple of days, our sports anchor Vusiwe Ngcobo is in Pretoria this morning to give us an update on the tournament. And she is joined by Netball SA CEO Modiegi Komane. Let's cross now to V.
Well, thank you so much, Sakina. Good morning to you. Of course, this morning we are coming to you from Rembrandt Park out at Tax because this is where, of course, those Africa qualifiers are taking place for the youth team. And I'm joined by the CEO of Netball South Africa. But I mean, when we talk about if ever there was a plane that can fire with all 12 cylinders, it certainly has to be the Baby Proteas, yet to be beaten so far out at these Africa qualifiers. We spoke about how this team hasn't been in competition since 2017. What do you make of what they've done so far here, Modiegi?
It's amazing. It's so amazing. I'm actually saying the senior Proteas, Spar Proteas must watch out. We've seen amazing talent. We've seen brilliant interception, a culture of netball that we've always been talking about. It's excellent. I mean, you've seen we're topping the log right now, and we're very proud of them.
And we have to speak about just that coaching combination between Precious Mthembu as well as, of course, the former senior Proteas player that we all know too well in Phumza Maweni out in goals and what they've been able to do. We see them on the sidelines. We see them leading this team. And it seems to be the motivation as well that just keeps the girls going out on the courts.
Yes. I wish you would even see how they interact with them even off court, because they see the real thing. They see that if these ones were able to play, for the national team, we're getting there. One of the things we did just to motivate them inside the dresses, we say we've put in, a future Spar Protee. So really, the combination is amazing, and you can also see the touch of the national coach as well, with the work that has been doing.
And of course, that's Jenny van Dijk. Let's speak about this arena here where we are right now. Of course, it's still empty. It's still early morning. The first encounter between South Africa will be taking place at around 10 a.m. But let's speak to the turnout of supporters that we've seen out at this edition of the qualifiers. What do you make of that?
We've done our best, really, especially considering the time that we agreed, to host this. And, the University of Pretoria, Gauteng Netball, the Tshwane Netball specifically, led by Rihanna, really did well because they are getting their own, the districts of Tshwane to attend. We've got our biggest fan of South Africa, Mama Joy, who's bringing fans every day to the venue. I mean, yesterday you saw it was full. We are hoping for a big turnout today. It's a holiday, and obviously during the finals on Saturday, we are proud and we're thanking South Africans who are supporting and who've been supporting. We thank even government. We thank all the stakeholders that have supported us, to be where we are. Africa Netball says they're really not, believing this is what is happening.
I think one of the things that has stood out for us when we look at this team, of course, it's the under-21s that are playing in competition at the moment. But the fact that you've got youngsters in this team that are in matric, and that speaks to just inspiring other young girls in South Africa to say, if they can do it, I too can do it.
Very true, V. We are so, look at Atkins, for an example. We're saying that's the current Bongi that we have. Like I say, we're going to have a challenge in choosing the team for 2027. I'm not even going to talk about Gibraltar next year. We have others in the squad who are not even on court that are excellent, We've seen, yes, great talent in other African countries. And I was saying to the president of Africa Netball, who happens to be our own president, we really need to find resources for Africa Netball and African countries and, import these players. I've seen Tax actually have spotted some of them, and they want them in the University of Pretoria. So that's the influence that South Africa is making, the responsibility that we have to the continent.
The Baby Spa Proteas have been doing amazing at these Africa qualifiers. As I wrap up with you for now, let's talk about yesterday's game with Malawi, because we know both Malawi and South Africa came into the encounter unbeaten, but we have to touch on the dominance of the South African team. And as you answer me that, perhaps just throw forward to what we can look forward to in the encounter at 10 a.m. when South Africa takes on Namibia.
I'm not worried about Namibia at all. You know, the top three on the log, South Africa, Malawi and Zimbabwe. Yes, we've seen the likes of Kenya that's, you know, coming up, but I can tell you we're sweeping clean. You know, it's not about home ground advantage, but we are really sweeping clean. Excellence on court. You've seen the team, you know, of management, the team, the medical team, your strength and conditioning coach. We're really professional. We're really intentional about what we want to do and what we're teaching our players to be.
Well, we love it. And as things stand, Gibraltar 2025, that's where South Africa's going.
That's where we're coming. We're taking over World Netball.
Absolutely. And of course, we are coming to you live from Pretoria, out in the nation's capital. It is, of course, the Africa Youth Qualifiers, all building up to the 2025 Youth World Cup out in Gibraltar.